On the northwestern edge of Epirus, where the seas of the Ionian spread out, a water bridge between the east and the west, Thesprotia is the mother of the primordial Greece, opening its doors to the visitor that wants to feel, in full, an ancient civilization, to discover the roots of Europe. In its guts, the river of Acherondas flows, one of the most sacred sites of Hellenism. From there, a voyage begins, the making of a unique history that reaches our days through the ages of myth and legend. In the framework of an incessant interchange of a generous nature, various markings of bright events come into a time climax on the Thesprotian land. Antiquity, Byzantium, the recent times. The big Thesprotian city of Elea sprawled into debris above the village of Valenia on the slope of Caliche. For some decades in the midst of the 4th century BC, it was the capital of Thesprotia and the centre of the activities of the common of the Thesprotians. Gitani was the political centre of the Thesprotians in ancient times. It is identified by the rubbles of Goumani at a distance of 1.5 kilometers from the dam of Kalamas. On the peninsula of Lagia, north of Igoumenitsa, up on a hill next to the Ionian Sea, the visitor can find the Tower of Ragio, most probably a colony of the resident of the island of Corfu. Moving further south, on the hill of Dolani, the archway of the Acropolis of the ancient ruined Dorp scans the river Kalamas. This area is recorded by the ancient historians Polybius and Tito Livius as the capital of the residents of Phanoti. Demokraston, a walled onshore dorp, extends into the calm Thesprotian slope that meets the Ionian Sea, on the southern peak of the Karovostasi seashore. In the course of history, the site has been identified with the ancient city of Elena. The years of the Byzantium and the Signori have marked in a special manner the Thesprotian lands. Next to the river of Acherondas, the visitor can find the ruins of the Byzantine church of the Caliche, a structure that was erected during the Paleo-Christianical epoch. Another important site in the area aging from the Historio-Byzantine years, the church of the Panagia of Paramythia, the Comforter. During the years of the Ottoman Empire, the Thesprotian landscape changes. The inaccessible gorges, the abrupt rocks, become a den for the chaste. In the frugal Dorian landscape of the mountains of the area of Suli, above the gateway of Adhes, the first Christians found a place to rest and hide away. There they introduced 4 villages, Suli, Samonida, Chiathras, and Avariko. This is where they lived under the unwritten laws and the institutions managing to save the most important elements of the Greek civilization from the antiquity. The ages of Byzantium, the Ottoman Empire captivity, and the most recent years. Monasteries and small decorative churches with a life of many eons, they provide the visitor with an opportunity to get to know about these fabulous civilizational treasures. One of these treasures is the Monastery of Geromeri, dedicated to the Domitian. The main structure was built around the year 1300 AD on the green slopes of the mountain Pharmakovuni. One of the most impressive qualities of this structure is the wonderful collection of paintings and murals. During the hard years of the Ottoman Empire, the small churches of the Orthodoxy, in order to survive, they climb on inaccessible gorges, abrupt slopes and deeply wooded areas. St. Minas in the area of Kokkinolithari and St. Athanasios near the commune of Perdica. They both are excellent examples of ecclesiastical and historical value. The visitor will have the opportunity to see and marvel at the authentic samples of ecclesiastical art. Those of the churches that could not make it in time, they pop up weedy among the empty spaces, spaces that smell of frankincense, wax candles, incense boat, spaces that are holy and still vibrate from holiness. Thesprotia today moves with a high pace of development, being central in the circumstances of southeastern Europe. Igoumenitsa, the modern capital of Thesprotia, used to be a deserted port, according to the ancient historian Thucydides. Today, it has developed into a beautiful modern city, a truly open door for the sea paths of the west and the east. The new port is one of the most modern ones in the Mediterranean. It provides for continuous marine communication, and along with the under construction Egnatia Highway is the basic gateway of entrance and access to all the Balkan and the other countries of Eastern Europe. Igoumenitsa is a lively city full of action and a fast pace of living. Lovely restaurants and modern cafeterias that add to the pleasant staying of the visitor. Another important city of Thesprotia is Paramythia. Built on the roots of the mountain Kurilas, it lies under the shade of the castle of Saint Donatos. The town keeps with the stone-paved streets, the stone houses, the many drinking fountains a special colour. Coming from Middle Ages signets and the Ottoman ramparts, it appears to be the oldest town of Thesprotia. A very well-known commercial feast is the Lamvovos of Paramythia, an event that takes place in the first week of every October. Its beginning is lost in the years of the Justinian age. Thesprotia accepts the modern way of living without refusing its authenticity and its magnanimity. The residents maintain in a much higher degree the local customs and habits that keep them tied with this land. In the hinterland, picturesque small villages stand ascending from many ages in forest-covered slopes, revealing to the visitor an unpresumptuous elegance. In the village of Plesio, 2-floor and 3-floored mansions with big coignards and hammer-dressed stones, arch windows, curved doors, and stone-paved yards, traces from groups of workshops that give evidence of the old bloom of the town. In Thesprotia, the modern life, the searches, the examinations, they all bury the hatchet with tradition, the local particularity and the authenticity. The Dorp of Finiki, next to the village of Pilatus, is one of the best maintained areas of Thesprotia. Here, the past was conserved from its people, not for the order of nostalgic runs, but to listen to it, to bow on its treasures, to discover the ingenuity and resourcefulness of the simple man. To enjoy the hack value of the technician is hack value when he constructs the copperwares, when he assigns to the clay the shape of tiles. To be enchanted by the beauty and the imagination of the average Thesprotian woman that weaves the dowries, when she embroiders the wedding clothes, when she ornaments with drewly raisins the coils of bread. And mostly, to admire in the landing works and all the other hard works the courage, the patience in the endless years of the absence of men abroad. The residents of these lands insist on keeping alive the traditions, well-built folklore museums that convey to the visitor the messages of general and local civilization. Once a year in the local feast, around the symbol of the village, the plain, the circle of dancers, slow motion, rhythm attuned to the music.